All right. Now, so you could technically have joined me on this adventure because of how the two-player thing works, but I actually completely forgot about it, and so I didn't ask you about it that time.
You know what I find interesting?
What?
And you're most likely going to say, yeah, it's true, etc., etc. But while looking through the Sonic Steam sale, I see mixed reviews for Sonic 4 Episode 1 and positive reviews for Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Well, this game is generally better. Everyone knows that.
So yeah, like this was like a 80% positive reviews, while the previous one was like 60. Kind of like a Sonic Forces.
Part of the issue, of course, was how the game was marketed. Also, that thing is just
marketed as all new classic Sonic adventure.
Yeah,
that's my guess. It's just terrible.
Not only that,
also,
but they had the audacity to say Sonic 4 after Sonic 3 was one of the most beloved games of all time.
This looks a lot better.
Yep, it doesn't look like weird plastic, but yeah,
it looks like 3D cell shading, which is acceptable.
So we're in Sylvania Castle Zone,
which is I really like when Sonic games start in interesting locations.
I mean, it's not only just interesting because it's not Green Hill Point 6.0, but you know, because of the obvious pun.
What's the pun?
Sylvania Castle, Castlevania.
Oh, that's cool. I think that I actually, out of starting zones, I think my favorite are probably zones that do Green Hill, but they do a good, interesting twist on it, like
Sand Hill if it was actually a full out level.
Well, Sand Hill if it was interesting.
Yes, like a full out interesting sand level.
My biggest one is Splash Hill. No, not Splash Hill. What's the one for Sonic Advance?
I think it's Neo Green Hill.
Yeah, where it's a beach, and I like that. Where it's Green Hill, but it's definitely its own thing.
I mean, Sonic Advance 2 was Leaf Forest, which was just, oh darn, not this again, okay. Just barely made it.
Oh wait, so I'm going to see the really fun half pipe.
Yeah, the really fun half pipe. The first 3 of these are manageable. 4, 5, and 6 can screw themselves. 7 is impossible.
I basically gave up on the half pipe in Sonic 2.
Look, man, getting Supersonic and half pipe is for people who used to. They're for kids who play the game, and by that I mean back in the day when that was like the only thing that you could play, and so you'd have to play it over and over until you were amazing at it. Then you'd get Supersonic. Now, when people have other things to do, no.
Speaking of how you play your games when it's the only game you have, I have 800 hours in Pokemon Black, and that includes. Okay, you're gonna have to take over for like 2 minutes.
Oh, sure. Okay, leave it. Not only are you leaving me, but you're leaving me on the half pipe. What am I supposed to comment on? The color choices? Anyways. Unfortunately, I'd have to say that this would be the worst half pipe in the series. Well, no. Sonic 2's half pipe is still horrible because it's bad as a whole. But half pipe 7 is so terrible. Did they actually test it? I don't think they did. I really truly do not think they did. The amount of restarts that I had to do on it was... It shouldn't be correct. There's no way that was actually correct. But maybe they really... Since Supersonic is like super amazing to have, maybe they realized that giving it too easily would have been an issue. But that was going way too far. And of course, you'll see why, because I do eventually get Supersonic in this. Even though it doesn't really change much. which is another gripe people have with this game, but whatever, I guess. Also, I'd like to point out that the first level, ironically, is also a water level. Like, when they originally did this, they probably thought, after the horrible reception of Sonic 4 Episode 1, well, middling reception? Something.
Exactly.
But I was in the middle of something, so nice try. I was basically saying that not only is the first level basically a castle level, but also a water level.
That's definitely a twist.
I was thinking that maybe after Sonic 4 Episode 1, with their bad reviews, are like, if we do like Emerald Hill or whatever, they're gonna kill us. So let's try and spice it up. Of course, Sonic, I guess at this point, it would be like, well, we got away with it. Time to go back to basics, because we clearly never learn.
That was a really long flight time.
It was a what?
Also, you flying with I was about to say Peach. You flying with Tails. That lasted a really long time.
Well, no, that was swimming. I wasn't flying. It was swimming.
Is swimming unlimited?
I think it is.
Here's the thing. Something I say a lot. I recently watched a video of us playing Pokemon, and I said, here's the thing like 1,000 times.
Well, cool. Now you have that, while I have something else that's super obvious, but I forget at the moment. Continue.
Yeah. I am currently playing Sonic 2, so I guess that's very thematic with this. I have no idea where I am in Wing Fortress.
Yes.
I'm playing through it and I'm lost, and so I can't beat the level.
How are you lost? It's not even a maze.
I'm going forward, and then suddenly I'm going backwards, and then I fall down and I'm back where I started. I'm thinking, that's not right.
You're clearly missing something. Like, you should here's something that I say a lot to you. Why don't you look at our playthrough of it?
Yeah, I am going to.
By the way, I just showed off something, the one saving grace to this whole travesty of a thing. If you press the start button before you reach one of the goals, you can restart this without any issue.
Cool. Does it happen for each individual goal or just the first?
Each one. If you know that you haven't gotten, if you remember what the goal tally they gave you at the beginning was, and you know that you haven't gotten it by the end, you can just restart as long as you press it in time.
Oh, that's cool.
So in essence, as long as you remember the goal, the goal values, there really isn't. You could theoretically just not lose at this. You just keep going until you win, till you eventually get skills to win. With the exception of 7, which is just that you'll have to really master some skills out of that. But we'll see it. We'll see it eventually. And I think if this was 2-player, yeah, you'd go over to the side to make this easier. But I think they do that thing in Sonic 2 where if you're doing 2-player, they increase that the amount that you need at the end. But this is still it's still generous enough that 2-player. If 2 players are good enough at the game, then it's best with 2 players. But if you have one good player and one player, they'll be losing your rings. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically they're just like telling me what I already know. But yes, not only.
So why is this called? The Sega doesn't publish Castlevania.
Konami.
Huh?
Konami.
Who's Army?
Konami.
Yeah, so Konami, is Konami friends with Sega? Is anyone friends with Konami?
Capcom was at one point. But yeah, so now we learn this, which everybody affectionately refers to as a Super 69 attack.
I was about to call it Buddy Ball. That also works.
You know, that just proves how, well, I would say innocent because you're not, but, you know, cheesy kid show-esque you are with your naming. But yes, the Buddy Ball, well, I guess. Oh, and I love this. Oh, well, let's try and stay on topic. Basically, until you uncurl out of it, you'll just constantly keep going forward, but you'll destroy anything in your way automatically. It's like an insta-spin dash, but it gives you a bigger hitbox, and I forget if it protects you against spiked enemies.
That thing was cool.
Yep. But something, as I said, that in this game that's amazing. If you recognize, and secrets, including red rings, if you recognize that you're falling down a pit fast enough, you can call tails and try and fly back up.
Oh, so it works in midair?
Yeah, it works in midair. If you do it in the ground, then you do the Super 69 attack. But yeah, so that makes, some people would say that makes some levels too easy, especially with how platforming works. If you just barely miss one of the top platforms and would be punished for it, if you still have tails active, then you can just fly back up. And in a way, I understand, but I wasn't. There's still stuff in the game. It's not like I'd say this game is easy, just more comfortable. I don't. Even with all the Sonic the Sonic games that make me feel like I'm constantly on edge without much payoff, I really don't like. So of course that extends. Well, see, just I missed the timing for that, and I was like, whatever. So that extends mostly to the bad games, but here there is a trick you can do. Basically, Tails has limited number of, call them ascensions. So if you get high enough, you can just slowly glide down, and you'll get a lot of horizontal distance.
Wait a second. Does each world, does each zone have 3 acts and a boss?
Yes.
That's a lot.
There are only 4 zones.
That's still okay.
It's just like the original thing, especially considering
but the original
episodic.
didn't have 3 zones and a boss.
Pretty sure it did.
Wasn't the boss in the 3rd zone?
No, because remember I did one part where I bunched all the bosses together.
Oh.
Yep, it was three zones and a boss. And the bosses in this game are better, but they do something stupid. Basically, in the original, you probably wouldn't have heard this because we don't record with sound. In the original, right, there's also a speed up feature in this, but we'll get to that later. In the original, they had the full boss music, just standard cool Sonic boss music. But like a lot of Sonic games at that point, it's also had a different thing for its pinch mode. But for some reason that most people cannot comprehend, they decided to make the boss theme only the pinch mode in this game. And it is super repetitive. It's supposed to be like a pump up thing where it's like, oh, now he's serious. But it's super repetitive, and everybody hates it now because that's the only boss theme here that's not the final boss. Wait, Other than I think the Metal Sonic boss is a different thing.
And you're talking about this game, not the previous one?
Yeah, talk about this game where they make it where they make it the pinch
So
music.
it's basically Generation 5.
Well, Generation 5, at least it happened when the boss was in when you were in a pinch. Except that in this case it just happened from the beginning.
Low health Generation 5 music is just the battle music.
Exactly. So that's basically the issue here. Of course, look in the top left, by the way. What do you see?
The Death Egg?
Nope. Well, technically, but there's something over there that's.
Oh, is that New Planet?
Little
That's
Planet.
not right.
Little Planet.
Little Planet.
Yes, and it's seemingly being uncovered by some metallic substances. I wonder what's going on.
This is a really big thing for the first boss.
Well, yeah, but has any other? Well, at this point, big mechs, relatively big mechs for bosses is standard for Sonic. But yeah, so the thing is that I actually didn't notice that Little Planet stuff was up there literally until just a while ago. So good foreshadowing there, I guess. But yeah, it's the time of the year again where Little Planet comes back down, and Eggman was like, yeah, let me just see if I can. This time, let me extract energy from it.
Isn't it kind of annoying?
That every year they have to basically check up on Little Planet to make sure Eggman doesn't try anything.
No, that every game they keep teasing Little Planet, but they never actually just go back for another game.
Well, the thing is that considering the ending of this game, that we'll get to obviously. Well, of course we'll get to. What the hell am I saying? But considering the ending of this game, it was highly speculated that Episode 3 was supposed to take place partially on Little Planet. Unfortunately, due to the bad reception that this entire series has, they never made it in Episode 3.
Well, this game has good reception.
Yes, but still not great reception, and after the whole revival of the Sonic 4 series and didn't really go well as a thing, and I think sales weren't that good after this point. I think I'm making that second
Should
point
have just kept it 2D. The thing is, the next Sonic game it could be on Little Planet.
Well, yeah, but
there's no way of telling what's going to happen to classic Sonic.
Honestly, I'd say stick with different things right now. People have been like teasing stuff from Little Planet a lot of time. I'm like, at this point, especially since we already went back to it in Mania for a bit, just I don't know, leave it alone. I'm sure in classic Sonic's world there are a lot of other fantastical things that you can go and check out.
Sure, I mean, you could always go to Little Planet and just have completely new zones there.
I guess.
Even though it's a Little Planet.
So that's what I was about to bring up, but yes, so it'd be unlikely, but it's possible.
I mean, a planet is still really big.
Yeah, but if you remember the original, what the size of it is.
Little Planet is like a moon, but that's still really big.
I guess. But remember, it's Sonic running through it, so.
That's a good point.